This is Van Electric Ghost, and we're live on the air with Tara Conan for the first time. You're a professional Irish fiddle player, podcaster, author, educator, tour guide, and arts manager in Ireland. And you're going to talk about something about unspoken etiquette in Irish traditional music sessions, which is what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, we're probably going to talk about your just your life story or to tell your story, get a little background. So we're going to have this up as like it's inside Irish session etiquette with you as your podcast host as well. But before we get to all that, I always ask every guest a couple questions, and the first one is, what motivates you?
Oh, what motivates me? I get really excited about growth, like grow my mind. Yeah,
Mhm.
that explodes my mind, and it's the only thing that stops me from sleeping. Because I wouldn't sleep. Nothing would affect my sleep if I'm worried or no. I will sleep like a baby. But excitement, oh my god, excitement about growth is like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so, like the other thing I always ask is like, why do you do what you do?
Because I love Irish music sessions. I just love sitting and playing music. It challenges me, and I want others to. I just loved all the others to experience the sessions the same way I do.
That's
Yeah,
interesting. Well, I've been a musician since I'm 58, since I was like 12 years old. I started on clarinet.
yeah,
And I'm a synthesist. I'm more of an experimental musician. I'm kinda all over the map, but, when I've have played with bands, I do like from my perspective, I like stream of consciousness kind of fusion type
yes,
playing. Even though I can sight read and stuff like that, I really like to just let people kinda just go.
yeah,
'Cause I was kinda into, Miles Davis would just tell people, like, "Well, just play what you feel."
yeah. Oh my god, it's so
Kind of what I
addictive
where
of
I come
just
from.
yeah. It is the best feeling, and I'd love everybody to feel that kind of magic.
Yeah, it's hard today 'cause you got people that are, like, locked into the DAW, the digital audio workstations, they're locked
Okay.
into all these computers making music
Mm,
and locked into, like, just highly structured, sequenced, controlled music where I kind of like the day of people just going and they, "Well, turn my multi-track on and just record all the channels.
yeah.
See what we get, and then we'll
See
go
what we
fix it
get.
after."
Totally, totally. It's, yeah, especially when you're kind of bouncing off other musicians as well. That's when, when you hear something, you're like, "Oh, oh, that's cool," and then you kind of bounce back off them and you're to and fro, and I suppose there's an element of something that you could do that with the digital as well. Um, there's an element of that, but I wonder, is it as like, it grabs your heart. It's like,
Yeah, well,
it's
I'm so
like
like, think people are so locked to the click track, they're locked to the
okay.
BPM,
Yeah.
you
No.
know, and if you're gonna play something that's from the heart, like, human beings make a little microtonal,
Yeah,
micro
we
rhythmic
do.
errors. You listen to
And
older records, I don't think they're errors, I just think that's just a human being. Like, it's
yeah,
not an 808, it's not
yeah,
a 909, it's like a human being actually playing the drums.
yeah.
They're gonna be a little bit when they do make changes, it's not gonna be like what you do on a drum machine.
Yes.
Drum
Yeah.
machine's like mechanical, and the
Yeah.
DAWs, they're sorry, they're mechanical, and when you have that and you get people who are like, "Oh, they're not adventurous with the bass lines, they're not adventurous with the chords."
Yeah.
They just get locked into, "Oh, I gotta stay on the BPM. I
Mm.
gotta stay on the click track." Like, "Why?"
Do you think there's an element of fear there? I think
Yeah, it seems like to me they're not willing to be vulnerable.
yeah.
I think any great singer-songwriter, any great musician, the core is that they're willing to adventure into places where they're not maybe they haven't been there before.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been there before, they maybe won't do it perfect, it might be a happy accident,
Yeah.
and they're not afraid of it
Yeah.
because that's where the fun is.
Exactly. And it might go all horribly wrong, but that's part of the fun.
Yeah, so session etiquette to you, as I kinda get the feeling, is probably what it is to me, but you can
Yeah.
explain to the audience what session etiquette from an Irish music session perspective, what does it mean to you?
Well, I think, especially coming from maybe it's more of a place for adult learners. seem to struggle with most, and I think that's why I started the podcast. It was actually one of my music students, one of my fiddle. I teach fiddle. I play fiddle, which is a violin, same thing, but
Mhm.
just I happen to play Irish music on it. And one of the students, I was thinking about, like, I'm always helping them. I thought it was their music anxiety, and I was like, oh, and I was kind of helping every week. There was another question about, the fear of joining a session, and I thought it was anxiety, but actually, because he's a retired doctor, and he just said it's not the anxiety that we have a problem with. It's not performance. It's we don't know any of these unspoken rules that people, it's like a community where we're trying to access and we don't know how to access it. So we
Yeah.
won't have the performance anxiety if we understand what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's kinda like a blues like, if you're into the blues or you're
Yeah,
into, like, bebop or even fusion, like, if you come into a session and you haven't done it, like, you're a classical musician,
yeah.
right? And somebody is playing a blues, right, in Louisiana, and you ask for the chart, they're, like, looking at you like, "There's no chart."
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people try to take notes, in with them, and or even ask. I frequently get asked questions. Why, are we not allowed to bring notes? It's not that you're not allowed. You could, but it's like, but the only thing is we can't notate the rhythm exactly how we play it because we play it differently every time.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna be like, if you're in a fusion, or
yeah,
even bebop, early bebop, like, they don't play it straight anytime, right? Every
yes,
time they do it, it's gonna be a little variation.
yeah,
And, Zappa used to say, like, "I could play a solo the same every night. I technically am capable of doing it, but I don't wanna do that."
yeah,
Like, Frank Zappa said, it wasn't interesting to him.
yeah.
Why would you do that? I don't wanna do it.
It's almost like speaking the same words exactly the same way every single time. I mean, we don't do that in conversations, so I mean, it's just not I don't think it would be very hard for me to do that in a conversation, but it would also be very hard for me to do that with a tune, an Irish music tune. I can't It's really difficult to step back and come back from that innovation or that kind of movement, that, being able to move with the tune wherever you want to take it.
'Cause
Although
it kinda like
we
yeah, you're getting you're feeling the room, right? You're
Yeah.
feeling the other musicians.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
feeling the moment, and every moment is different. Like,
Yeah.
if whatever room you're in, the vibe in that room could be different from what it was yesterday, what it is today. How
Yeah.
the rest of the musicians are behaving is different for yesterday than it is today. So,
Yeah.
if you wanna get really tight and say, "Well, I'm gonna do it exact," nobody even hits it exactly in the orchestra.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, they get close, but it's not exact. Like,
And
it's a little like, they how you approach any instrument, they kinda like, your secret sauce
yes.
is it's like you how you decide to play that note.
And you'd get kind of bored. You're not being challenged if you have to play the exact same you're being challenged in a different way, but it's not challenging in a good way.
Even session musicians, I was watching the thing on Steely Dan, and they used to sneak in, like, they were given parts to play, and they were like, "Yeah, I know they told me not to slap, but I'm gonna slap it. On the bass, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, if they told me not to do this phrasing on the horn, I know the horn, they don't. I'm gonna do what I want." And so it's like, because if you're that's your talent, like, why did you hire me as a horn section? You hired the horn section because you want I can that's what I'm gonna bring.
Yeah.
Don't try to kinda, like,
Mhm.
like, you're trying to, like, dictate to me? Like,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Like, you don't think I can feel it?
Yeah, it's trust. It's a trust, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I think it's great when you have, people who, have got 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 hours of practice, and you put
Mhm.
them together and you trust them.
Yeah.
And if you trust them, then you don't keep on start, stop, stop,
Yeah.
stop, stop. I've been in sessions like, hey, they got the producers, they gotta stop and start every little microsecond they wanna control.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
"It's not fun."
yeah. Yeah, because you can't get into the flow if you're being stopped the whole time. It's like trying to drive somewhere and you're being "Oh, stop, stop." And it's like you're driving in traffic rather than actually getting out onto an open road.
Yeah, because how you ever gonna really open up, gonna open up that V8? It's like you
Yeah.
can't really do it if you keep on shutting me down.
Yeah. The actor,
Oh, I lost you. There you go.
um, He he has a is quite fond of talking about this subject where, getting into the flow, and
Flow
you
state, yeah.
you have to, try and, become childlike.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause
Uh
children didn't know what they can't do.
exactly, yeah, and I think that, oh my god. So that's what I kind of when I'm in a set it's like giddiness. I get really giddy when I get into an Irish music
That's
session.
why people think musicians are immature because we still have that childlike innocence. Like, "How can you musicians so immature?" It's like, we have to keep that childlike wonder
Yeah,
to really be in it. If you're gonna be a musician, like, lifelong, you always keep that childlike sense of wonder that
yeah,
you have with your I think, like, Van Morrison used to have to talk about, like, sense of wonder, but, like, this idea, like, that you get brought into that,
yeah,
and it's like the reason you're a musician is because you love to play,
mhm,
and if you take the fun out of it, you make it mechanical, you make it rote, you make it like a job. Like, I
mhm.
didn't do this to be a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Like, that's
it's
not
not a you're not playing anymore. You're not playing like a child. You're not letting your imagination run away with you.
yeah, I mean, I think, like, it's really kinda like a download for the universe. It's like, the Victorian poets used to talk about the muse. So
Yes.
do you really feel that kinda muse inspired, like, it's coming from the universe, it's coming from, like, the ether, it's like that you're tapping into something?
Some people do, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say everybody in Irish music does. I wouldn't say every musician does, any genre, but yeah, there's definitely a few of us that quite a few of us that think like that. I love the term muse.
Mhm.
It's so There's so much in it. Actually, I the my fiddle student that's the retired doctor, I call him my muse for my podcast because he was the inspiration and he keeps coming to me, like he'll send me a message, like a voice note, after every episode going, "Oh, that was really interesting, this kid," and he'll think of things and he'll like, "And maybe this is a good idea." And so he just kind of throws ideas at me and it's great. I love it.
Yeah, this I think I love the idea, the Victorians, like, I'm into a lot, Lord Byron and Yeats and, Hawthorne and Longfellow and I listen to a lot I read a lot of Blake, William Blake, I was really into Blake, but, the idea of that is, like, you feel this kind of, that I don't know, it's like you look at the looking glass self. There's
Mm,
a kind of Victorian idea, like the self-examination, and I think any really good music, no matter where it's coming from, is like you're looking in the mirror, you're pulling from your internal.
mm,
You're pulling from your subconscious and your soul and your heart, but you're also pulling from the stuff that's outside of yourself.
mm,
And I think any great musician is that when they can synthesize the outside and the inside and they get these magical moments, think
mm.
that's where you really get it. Like when you know it's really working.
Yeah, because sometimes when I'm playing like a slow air, which a slow air in Irish music is something that has no kind of rhythmical pattern. Well, it's not a kind of a like a structured rhythmical pattern, should I say? That there's kind of a pattern there, but it's very vague and it's very free flowing and very loose. Usually quite slow, so that you wouldn't be able to dance or anything to it. But there's a couple of them that I play that are associated with laments, for maybe drownings or deaths, and
Mm,
like, because I wanna feel it, and
yeah,
there's no I like, the worst thing when I'm playing music is if I have to play music and I can't feel it. I don't
yeah,
feel like I'm alive. So I get into a kind of a very dark place where I'm remembering kind of deaths in my own life, and that feeds those slow tunes that I play, and, yeah, it takes a while to come out of that again because it's
yeah.
quite
It's kind of like
emotional.
a method actor, it gets
Yeah,
like any great musician or artist. I've talked to actors and I've talked
yeah,
to like and even painters, like when you're pulling from like the thing that makes an artist really great is when they are vulnerable
yeah,
and they can actually pull and it's very cathartic because a lot of artists like the reason you do the work is because you're working through stuff.
yeah,
And when it's like because we take the stuff that happens and we turn it into art
mhm,
instead of pushing it down and hiding it in the corner.
mhm,
We go into it and then we bring it out. And because we have the ability to do it. And
yeah,
that to some folks is like when they put like ceilings on it or put it in boxes, then you're like, how could you do that?
Yeah, definitely think I play my best music when I'm really in a bad place. That sounds awful, but, like, when I'm in a deep like, a dark, dark place, that's when
Mm,
I play my best music because I need to get all that
get it
energy
out.
and get it out, and
Yeah,
I
because that's the kind of passion, you see it like, and,
yeah,
different types of art, you can feel it. When you see it, like, if you listen to Coltrane and he's
yeah,
doing these, like, really discordant things, and he's like,
yeah,
because he's pulling from this kind of pain.
yeah,
Like, when he hits some of those discordant notes in the way he does it, it feels like he's drawing in pain. Just like when you're on
yeah,
a violin, you can kinda stress that. Like,
yeah,
so you
yeah,
can get into stuff that's kinda discordant or in higher registers that feels like screaming. It
yes,
feels like you're moaning or
yeah,
groaning or
or crying.
crying. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and that is you're pulling that from something inside.
yeah, the pain, you're just oozing it out, uh, and as you say, it's so cathartic.
Yeah,
It's
and
yeah.
it's like is there like an etiquette with when you're talking about the etiquette and session etiquette, like, is it like a bad etiquette if somebody tries to cut that off and you're in the middle of that?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of I think of Irish music sessions as teamwork. We're all just there to play music because we enjoy it and we love it. And if somebody's maybe deciding that they want to, it's for themselves instead of for the team, that's when
Mhm.
things can kind of go wrong. So
Oh, because somebody wants to be the, like, I don't know, saying be the conductor.
yeah,
Like,
or
so you're trying to be like, they're top down in it.
yeah, or well, I mean, it can be lots of different things. And Irish music sessions normally this kind of a couple of musicians, maybe 5 or 6 musicians, sitting in a corner of a pub, not amplified. They're just jamming off each other basically. But if somebody maybe come in, I mean, it could be maybe a newcomer that has never played Irish music before with a shaky egg that they just bought yesterday.
Mhm.
And they've never played percussion before. They don't know anything about the rhythms in Irish music. They don't know anything, and they just decide to make noise. A lot of
Oh,
people who make noise definitely disrupt sessions, noisemakers. It could be maybe somebody from a different genre, maybe classical or jazz or something where they maybe hadn't heard Irish music before, and what's normal in their genre isn't as a
it doesn't
norm.
fit
Yeah.
in.
So if I went to a jazz session and I was like, "I'll just try and do this," and you turn around going, "What are
And
you doing?"
yeah, if you're doing, like, modal jazz and you're bringing a folk tune and, like, "Well,
Yeah, you're like,
maybe it'll work because we can play off of it."
yeah.
But
If maybe if we've decided that that's what we're doing, yes, but if maybe, if you're sitting down and you're already, engaged in this thing, and I just walk in and
yeah.
just sit in and start trying to impose me on what you're doing, what that's something that's already existing, and I think that's what the problem is sometimes in etiquette, is
Oh,
that
that
we
sounds
try to impose something that's on something already established that we're not part of, but we try and impose ourselves on it. I think that's, yeah, that happens everywhere, not just
yeah,
Irish music. I mean, even
anything.
if yeah, if work etiquette, road etiquette, we all know about road etiquette.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like listening skills because
Yeah,
a lot of times when I've talked to him, I was a sociology major, but a lot of times there's, like, a little bit of psychology in it, but what happens is, like, people have filters,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
their mind tends to go places to make them safe or feel safe.
Yeah.
So as soon as you hear something, it triggers your mind to filter it into something that makes you feel safe or it's recognized to you, but that a lot of times you don't listen you're not actually listening to what is being heard said.
Y your unconscious mind has deleted it already, or yeah,
Deleted.
yeah.
Just put it into
I've studied quite a bit of NLP. It's fascinating. Yeah, it is
yeah, and
fascinating.
that's a big problem because a lot of times you need to ask somebody, "What did you really mean?" Because
Yes.
you make assumptions and you're off to try to win the argument
Mhm.
instead of having a conversation, you're trying to win an argument.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people will, like, bring that to, like, "Oh, I'm gonna smoke this I'm gonna do this crazy heavy metal solo, or I'm gonna do what I think is gonna work." And it's not a speed race, right? Like, we're doing something sometimes we want something very melodic,
Mhm,
and somebody
mhm.
will come in and do something, it's like, "Well, that doesn't really fit."
So they didn't
But
read the room.
you don't read the room, it's like,
Yeah,
well, that's what you can do when you're doing your thing,
yeah,
but if you come in here, you actually have to listen to what's being put down and find a way to fit in, you know?
yeah. So I think it is it's kind of like a you're being self-aware and also aware of your surroundings and how you fit into those. Whether we can I used to say, when I go to a session, if I was going to a session that wouldn't be a regular session I would attend. So if I was going to a new session, I would say, "How can I contribute to this session?" But actually now I've kind of changed it to, "How can I contribute to the vibe of this session?"
Yeah. A
Because
lot
I
of
think
it's a vibe, it's like
yeah,
everything's frequency and vibes, and it's
yeah,
like when you come into a session, if somebody starts asking, "What key are we in? What are the charts? What are like,"
yeah,
and it's like, if you're a musician and you've been playing 20 years, like, you hear it, you know what the key is,
yeah, yeah,
right? You know it's like 7/8 or it's like 1/4, so you know
yeah.
what it is.
Or if you don't, then maybe that's not the session for you.
Yeah, because if you can't do like, discern it, then you're
Yeah.
gonna slow people down because they're gonna like, "Now I gotta think about what I'm doing,"
To
and
be
you
able to communicate that to the other person. Yeah.
sometimes, like, it's like if you're in certain genres of music, like funk, it's like on the one, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on in between, and it's
Cool.
not just the one, but that kinda like the base of it. But if you don't understand that and you don't get it, right, and you don't understand all the other stuff that happens,
Yeah.
and then you try to jump in, it's like you're not listening.
Yeah.
You
It's
you don't understand the form. It's like
yeah. It's funny. See the word listen, on my podcast, it's mentioned
mhm.
listen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the worst thing today because everybody, a lot of times people just listen, with the algorithms on the net put us into boxes, puts us
Mhm.
into our tribes.
Mhm.
And then you go and you only see the things or hear the things that you want to see and want to hear. And you're not challenging a lot of times, to progress. You
Mhm.
have to be challenged to do things that are maybe unexpected of you, not predictable.
Yeah.
And the algorithms are all about predictability.
Yeah.
It's all about trying to put you into, everything that's going on. It's like, all these postings on the net. It's like, oh, let's do another cat video. Let's put the same song that's on that other cat video.
Yeah. I don't
And
do trends. I just don't can't like that that, like, freaks me out. What like, why do you wanna do the same as the other person?
they
That
recommend the
freaks me out.
same song that everybody's using the same song. You go on TikTok, everybody's using the same sound effect
Mhm.
on a million posts. Nobody finds that boring.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
u
just
I used to play for wedding music, which in itself is, you're like, "Ah, cringe." But, I used to play for weddings, but my whole thing was I play something different. I play whatever you want, as in totally different. Make it, challenge
make a
me,
different
give
version of it.
or no, not even different version. It was just like, tell me what you want. So something that's, like a song or a tune that's meaningful to you.
Mm,
And most of the time, 90% of the time, people would say, "Oh, what did everybody else want?" I was like, "Screw everybody else, excuse the language, but
yeah.
who cares what everybody else wants? What do you want?" It's like
Yeah,
people can't make up their own mind.
I think the problem is a lot of people they say they want to be individuals,
Yeah.
but then there's a lot of following the trend, following the Joneses. Everybody wants to be it's like, to be the Jones, you actually had to be an individual, right? You actually
Yes.
had to come up with something and get out of the box, and the reason they got what they got because 'cause they're
Okay.
not doing the same thing that you're doing,
Cool.
right? But now you
Yeah.
think you can just clone it. It's like, clone it and maybe you'll hit it one time,
Mhm.
but you won't do it after that because they're
Yeah.
like, you can't just keep well, you can, it's boring. But it's like eventually you'll be your person just doing a bar band thing and they're doing the same song every night.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I really feel for some of the bands that tour, and that's the reason I was never really in a band, because I just thought, "Ugh, if I have to play the same tunes with the same people that I love, but, if I have to play the same music with the same people every night, that would bore the arse of me. I would be like, I just what is the point in playing music? This is not why I got into Irish music. This is not why I was so excited about Irish music." So, yeah, I've never really I had a rule for a long time that I wouldn't play with the same musicians, for, within 6 months.
I think that's awesome because today we have so many folks that if you get out there in the A&R world, they want you to focus on one of your songs
Yes, that's
for the
horrible.
next year.
For the
This
ma or even like the likes of some of the old, musicians from the, some of the rock bands or pop bands from the 80s or 70s that are still going, and they still have to play the same songs 50
these
years
songs
later.
are
Oh my
awesome.
god.
So it's like it's like a one hit wonder thing.
Yeah.
But maybe you got 5 of them, but the problem is to me, what I like about, like, Delta blues, what I like about, New Orleans, you think about, like, fusion jazz, modal jazz, is those bands, they have tunes that are recognizable, but every time they play it different.
Yeah.
And even like a band like a Funkadelic, every time they went out, they did like 20, 30-minute songs, it's like extended jams, and it was never coming from the same place. Yeah, you have familiar structures, but they could go
Mhm.
off.
Yeah.
And when you go off, it's like it doesn't have to be the same every night. And actually the fans were cool that they don't want it the same every night. They want
Yeah.
to hear that you're actually playing live.
Cool.
You're actually coming up with something different. And
Uh,
your improvisational is like you feel in the room, like what you're saying. But
yeah. Although some, like, audiences are like, "Oh, they played it different, didn't play it like they did on the CD." It's like, "Oh my god."
yeah, I think there's it seems like kids today are more like that. That
You know, if you
they
yeah.
wanna hear what they heard on the radio or what they heard in the playlist, and
Yeah.
to deviate from it to the fact that you see these EDM big concerts and these DJs not even touching their rig.
Oh god. Yeah.
Everything they're going off fake touching their rig because they're not even doing the drop. Everything's, like, pre-recorded, everything's pre-set up, and then they're running around jumping. I'm like,
Mm.
"Are you really playing?" "No, no, you're not."
Yeah, yeah, like, I think people don't realize that that's what they're doing when they want their favorite band or favorite artist to play exactly what's on the CD, and if you do, just maybe stay at home and listen to the CD. So
Yeah,
I'm showing my age, CDs, but, people don't listen
yeah,
to CDs anymore probably, but
I'm into vinyl. I
yeah,
like vinyl. I mean, I'm a child of the
right,
'70s. I got my Led Zeppelin on vinyl. I got my
brilliant.
Sun Ra on vinyl. I got my
I have
I got
only a
all
few records. I don't have very many records now, but it's mostly CDs I have.
my
We
pop
still
had a lot of stuff, so I got
Yeah.
his.
We still a lot of people, when they launch albums here in Ireland, and I for Irish music, well, Irish traditional music specifically, we still launch a physical CD.
That's good. Good WAV
Yeah,
files are better than them compressed audio. I don't like
yeah,
compressed,
yeah.
but
Oh, I love the sound of CDs. It's so clear.
but it's yeah, I mean, like, I like vinyl because vinyl is a whole different thing because it's like
Yeah,
they feel in the vinyl, and then you got the record, you got the artwork.
yeah,
It's a whole experience, and the thing about I liked about vinyl is, like, you listen side A, you listen side B, you don't skip around, and
yeah.
it kind of forced you to get the complete thought of the artist.
Mhm.
Like, when you're not gonna like, if you're on a playlist, you skip around.
Yeah.
Like, even on a CD, you can skip around, but when
Although
you
I don't like to skip around. No.
yeah, but most of the time, if you put it in, you would just let it go. But,
Yeah,
like, vinyl, you're kinda forced to let it go if you
yeah,
unless you're gonna get up and move the needle.
yeah.
Most people aren't gonna get up and move the needle, they're actually gonna listen to the whole thing.
And are you into your, like, record players, as in the vinyl players that have, that are maybe 10 grand or something?
Yeah, those crazy ones.
Yeah, yeah, the ones with, like, a certain wee needle
With the
parts.
tube amplifiers, and they got the
Yes,
tubes, again, they got all that extra stuff.
and they're like $3,000 dollars, whatever, for a tiny
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
the needles are, like, super crazy. Well, I
yeah,
mean, it's kind of it's a niche thing,
yeah,
but, like, if you get into it, like, it's really I'm a synthesis, but I have tons of Moog because I
yeah,
have a lot of analog synths, because there's something
cool.
about the analog synths that's different than the digital synths because they actually warm up. My Moog, if it like, its play sounds different from when I turn it on, 30 minutes later, like an hour later, the oscillators, they behave differently.
Cool.
So, like, analog synths are kinda like organs and stuff. I mean, they're electronic, but they have personality.
That's
Older
brilliant.
synthesizers, they have a personality, have a weirdness about them that
Yeah.
they don't sound the same, and they kinda drift and things that you can take advantage of, and that to me, like, that's what I want. I want something that's more giving me feedback,
Yeah,
and
that's so cool.
it gives you feedback where the digital stuff doesn't give you the feedback the same way.
Yeah, 'cause supposedly some people said that some of the really high quality, record players, vinyl players, it feels like you're almost in the recording space with the musicians when they're playing.
Yeah, 'cause it's like you're really getting that analog sound where you're
Yeah,
feeling the full, like, bandwidth,
yeah.
right? Where the problem with the digital is like, you lose a lot. Like, if you go listen to a vinyl record from the '70s,
Mm,
you listen to, like, maybe the first, like, version on CD when they didn't really know what they were doing,
uh-huh.
and you'll see, like, there's a lot of stuff in the headroom, it's gone. There's, like, all this stuff that's not if you listen on the headphones, there's all this stuff in the mix that's not there.
Wow.
And you're like, "What happened?"
Yeah, where is it? Where's That is so cool. Yeah, it makes you want to go back to vinyl.
Yeah, dude, like, I just like the audio, I don't like, that all those frequencies and all the things in the headroom getting clipped off,
Mm,
because the digital some of the digital stuff, like, they'll clip it off. The compressed audio will definitely clip it off, and when it clips it, you lose the nature of some of the acoustic instruments, you lose the nature of what's there, and, I just it's like some of the stuff that's too perfect. Like, a
mm.
lot of the stuff today is so antiseptic and too perfect. I don't
That's a
want
brilliant word for it. Oh, that's brilliant.
yeah, it's I actually wanna hear if you listen to old recordings,
Mhm.
you can hear, what maybe we call, like there's, like, little oddities, like happy accidents.
Yeah,
I don't wanna say there's a mistake, there are happy accidents and things like, "Hey, that actually works.
yeah.
Leave it in."
Mhm.
Maybe you hit the mic, or maybe you're a little far away from the mic, or maybe this guitar is not exactly perfectly in tune, but it actually works for
Yeah.
what you're doing, right?
Uh-huh.
And trying to go and make it perfect, like doing 100 takes of a song,
Yeah.
when the fourth take is really what you really wanted to say, and by the
Yeah.
time you get to the 100th take, you're actually pulling away from what you say because you're scared of what you originally said, and then you're kinda correcting yourself.
Mm. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, and like, so many people are stuck with the whole perfectionism, and yeah, I mean, I have recorded a couple of times, but that does kind of worry me about although I'm just trying to think, I recorded with another fiddle player from this area as well, and, I just said, "Right, we go in." We just sat we recorded it in a little house, we got an engineer to come out and had microphones, and I just said, we'll just play away, and I think we did the whole what is it, 11 or I don't know, is it no, it's more than 11. I think it's 13 or 14 tracks, in one day. We just sat and we took
Just did it. Yeah. Not a lot of retakes.
the, editing or mastering. It's just like, "No, it is how we played on the day, and that's what it is." It's just a live recording
Right.
basically.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of old bands, if you go back in the '50s, I mean, they did do, some retakes. If you're Nat King Cole, you did a bunch of takes, but if but a lot of bands, like, there's a lot of, like, maybe the 4th take, the
Yeah,
3rd take, because it's actually good, even in the '70s, like Elton John was saying, where they used to record in these mansions and mic everything, mic the piano, mic the drums, and
yeah,
even the Stones did that in France,
yeah,
for, like, you know, Exile, but they just recorded in these like Zeppelin. They would go and get these big houses
right.
and put the bands into the house and mic stuff to get the atmosphere of the house.
Cool.
Some of these modern bands have forgotten that, like, the reason those records sound so good is
Mm,
they're actually going into these spaces like these mansions, or they're in studios and they're micing stuff and they're all in there playing live.
yeah, it's like I think.
Yeah. We cut off a little bit. Say what you said
Sorry,
again.
sorry, it's like, the venue is another member of the band.
Yeah, yeah. The venue is like the atmosphere is really important.
Mm,
And, the actual place that you record, and it used to be that people would go to the big studios, they go to Olympic, or they go to, like, Electric Lady, or they go to, like, like the Beatles studio, Abbey Road, and they had, like, these studios had a vibe.
yeah,
And even then, sometimes you record in auditoriums, like, even on Purple Rain, he actually recorded Purple Rain at First Avenue. That
Wow.
song was recorded live and then overdubbed.
Wow,
The
cool.
reason it sounds so good is because it was actually played live, and then it has overdubs for some of the guitar playing and some of the other parts. But, like, even The Who did that. The Who used to record live, like, Who's
Yeah,
Next? A bunch of that was done live, and then Pete did overdubs on top of it,
yeah. I
and
love
when you do that, it sounds better.
yeah, I love the idea of live because a recording is only ever how you've played it once, and
Yeah,
that's it. It can't ever be the definitive version because then, then we're back to our old subject of playing the exact same thing all forever
yeah.
and ever and ever.
I do a lot of that, like, for my recordings, like, the stuff I do as a Phantom Electric Ghost, I do live recording as the multi-track, and then I do, like, overdubs.
Mm,
But my initial sessions are, like, live,
cool.
and then I overdub pieces on top of live things that, I have a session for, like, an hour, and then I'll split up the pieces and turn them into songs, but everything starts from, like, just a jam,
Brilliant.
and if people say, "Oh, like, how come it sounds like that?" Because I'm not overproducing
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. And this is like what we're doing here. This is like a conversation as well. Music is like a conversation when it's a good session or a good kind of, a good jam. It's just we're just having a conversation, a musical conversation.
Yeah, and I think what people forget is, like, trying to make it perfect is, like, to me, perfection is the enemy of creativity,
Yes.
and people get caught up in it because we have all these tools. We
Yeah.
got all these computers and all this gear, and then somehow, the engineers and the gearheads and the producers start coming in, and they actually start taking away our artistic sensibilities and telling us, "Oh, no, 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 we know what it is." And I'm
Mm.
like, a lot of artists, they actually know what they wanna do,
Yeah.
but then they
Yeah.
let other people tell them what to do.
And we're perfectionists sometimes because we're comparing to somebody else, and comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
everybody's trying to, like, copy each other. Like,
Yeah.
we're in the age of the cloning. Like, everybody clones
Totally. Yeah.
everybody just clones everybody else's stuff. Nobody's willing to come out there and do something like a Sun Ra.
Yeah.
Sun Ra is big now, but he wasn't big when he started because he was willing to be experimental. It's just
Mm.
like Zappa and the Mothers. It's like they had a following, but it was like a cult following, and once in a
Yeah.
while, they would have, like, apostrophe, "Oh, that breaks through." But, like, most of the time, it doesn't because,
Yeah.
like, you have, like, your core capability, and you put out there to the world like law of attraction. People either vibe with it or they don't.
Mhm.
But then everybody wants you to vibe with the thing that's the most popular,
Yes.
and then they make you change yourself to
Yeah.
contort yourself into that popular box.
Mhm.
And to me, like in this age right now, everything that's cool is in the underground. Everything that's cool is the people who are doing stuff like you. The other stuff that's out there that people are being told that this is what it is
Mhm.
not it.
And we're all kind of, it's the age of AI now as well, so we can clone it so much easier. We can just put it into AI and go, "Can you, generate this?" Which is,
Oh,
and
yeah.
do it in the style of rather than actually
But then
just
what's the
being
point of
you.
the whole point for you as a musician, like, is the point that you can do it in 5 seconds, or is the point that you actually take something and you work something out, and maybe it takes you a little bit, right? The
Mhm.
point of music isn't to do it in 15 seconds,
Yeah.
right? The point of music isn't for somebody that doesn't know how to play a bass or a trombone or a violin or a cello or a fiddle to suddenly go and put a prompt in
Yeah.
and have it copy something. It's like, isn't the point to actually learn how to play the cello
Yeah.
or to play the bass or play the acoustic guitar and actually come up with some good rhymes and come up with some good lyrics and come up with something?
Yeah.
Isn't that the point? To go
Mhm.
through it?
And enjoy it because you won't enjoy if you didn't have the journey to get there.
Yeah, it's like you got people who aren't musicians suddenly saying they're musicians. And I'm like, you're not
Right.
a musician. You
Wow.
wanna be a jerk about it, but you're not if you're doing prompts, you're not a musician.
Wow. I didn't realize it got to that stage.
Yeah, we got people who are saying, "Well, I produced this thing," and, like, it's all prompt engineering. Just like
Okay.
I don't wanna see a filmmaker doing an AI film with
Yeah.
AI actors. I wanna see a real actor showing me the depth of his character, of his interpretation of what the writer did, what
Mhm.
the director wants. I want to see the lighting, people, and the photographers, and all the set designers. I want to know that somebody actually made like
Mhm.
the set, somebody created the makeup, and it's not just some overlay of some AI generated fakeness. It
I
doesn't feel real.
Yeah, I think a lot of, I don't have a television, but the odd time that we watch something on the laptop or something, it's like "What is this background? What are" I don't even know what they are anymore. It's not even appealing to see movies that have all
It's a lot of
this stuff.
slop. We
Slop,
call it
yeah.
AI slop. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. It's too perfect or it's too artificial,
Yes. Yeah.
and it doesn't feel real. It
Yeah.
does. It's like I'd rather go watch Orson Welles and Citizen Kane, see a nice black and white movie with Humphrey
Mhm.
Bogart or something, Ingrid Bergman, and actually see a real actor
Yeah.
and a
I
real director and a real lighting director use those shadows in the black and white movies.
yeah.
I love the lighting in the black and white.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
love the old movies, the pacing, because it's like real. It's real. Like these are actors actually in the craft, the directors in the craft doing the work.
and they had so much to extra to think about, to do, to try and create something, whereas, we take things for granted, definitely with
All this artificial
we
stuff,
say with
you know?
shadows and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd rather see
Yeah.
somebody do something like break it down. You don't need to spend millions of dollars on this, all these explosions and all this other. Why don't you actually have a human character,
Yeah.
tell a human story,
Yeah.
and use your camera angles with like the intelligence of your director and your cameraman and
Yeah.
your lighters to actually. That doesn't take a lot of money. It takes talent, you
Yeah.
know.
And it's teamwork as well at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's a team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
so
whole team, it's like a band. I was talking to a film director, he said it's like having it's a big band of
mhm.
all these people working together. When they get it right, then it's like when you hit that note right,
Yeah.
you hit that theme right, you hit that song right, you get that passage working, and everybody in the band's like, "Wow, how did we do that?" And we
D
just did it.
Yeah, and I remember actually when I used to be running an arts festival. I was the festival director of an arts festival, quite a few years ago. But when you just get the team right, things just can flow. Like it can just go woohoo, and everything just works, and it's brilliant. So yeah,
That's
it
interesting.
can cross over things.
You were talking about how you like to kinda jump into different bands and kinda build that up again. Because some people will, like, once they get their team, oh,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, they just wanna stay with their team.
yeah,
And other people, they're kinda like Bowie, is like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a new band all the time because, like, I need to get challenged. I need to go different directions." And so, like you like actually the challenge of, like, bringing it coming together.
yeah,
Like,
and it's the freshness as well. When I suppose it's like the first hit. That's what I'm searching for the whole time. The
mhm,
first hit of when things work, it's like, "Oh my god, woo!"
do you like
Because you'll never get that a second time. So, like, just don't look for it the second time. Go and mm, do it with somebody else the next time.
that's cool because, like, when you realize that, like, if you just stay in the same place and keep the same group and don't challenge yourself because like every person's different, and so you gotta like learn how to like sync up with that sound with the sound they're putting down.
Mhm.
Like if you get with a different drummer, the drummer has a totally different vibe. Then you like learn how to like fit in with the drummer, you fit in with the
Yeah.
bass player, whoever you're playing with. You find that like everybody that I've ever played with is like yeah, there's certain drummers I preferred at certain points, but then
Yeah.
sometimes you change your perspective. It's like, oh, this guy does really good bebop. This other guy's more
Yeah.
fusion. This other guy's more
Uh-huh.
like a rock drummer. And like if I'm in the mood, yeah, I like wherever my head's at. But
Yeah.
your head, like where you are as a musician, you change, right? You change what you want to do.
Yeah. It's not that I never wanna play with them ever again. It's just like, at the moment, I just wanna keep challenging, and then I'm like, "Oh, if I go back again to that," it's like, "Yeah. Oh, now it's almost fresh again because I haven't played with them for 6 months or a year or whatever." So, I think it's like keeping a relationship, fresh,
Yeah.
which
Which
is
you have to
difficult.
walk away and come back in.
Yeah. I am a one-man woman, yes, But I have to try and keep that fresh as well.
Yeah, well, you gotta change it up. You gotta, like, not do the same things all the time. You gotta, like, let's go somewhere. Let's try something new. Let's not go to the same restaurant for
Yeah,
our anniversary every year.
yeah.
Like, why? We have to, is that the tradition, or maybe we should change it up?
How did we get into this conversation? This could go anyway.
But yeah, I think the missteps that people make, you know, it's not necessarily out of arrogance, but maybe it's kinda like you said, like nervousness or
Yeah.
uncertainty. And
Mhm.
and I think a lot of times people are looking for so much certainty, but like, certainty might be the, it's like antithetical to being creative.
Yeah, that's it. Uh, But I suppose when you're in a learning zone, you probably need a bit of certainty till you get up to till your unconscious is kind of reached the more unconscious competent state. Whereas if
Mhm.
you're still in the conscious competent state, or when you're still consciously competent, you're kind of, you know, tying your shoelaces, but you're thinking about it when you're doing it rather than you just doing it without thought.
Yeah, like a flow, like once you get into the flow, like you're in the
Yeah,
groove, like
yeah.
like if you've been playing for years, when
Mhm.
you get with a session, right, and he's like you're locked in. Like, you're locked in with the drummer, you're locked with the bass player, you're locked with the horn player, you just lock in. And you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
But like if you go into something more uncomfortable, it's like a form that you hadn't been in, well, you're not gonna lock in right away.
Yeah, it'll take an but I suppose as you said, the more experienced you are and the more open you are and willing to be vulnerable, the quicker you can get into
Yeah,
that
you'll
state of
probably lock in a
yeah,
lot quicker than if when you did when you were like 17 or you're
yeah,
21 or you're 24, when you're like 35, 30, 42. Like then like I've seen like professional musicians, they can lock in with anybody.
yeah.
They get was a different band, and I was talking to some guy, and they had these super groups do this thing for a charity, and these totally different genres
Mm.
bands from like like a band like a grunge band mixes with like a band like guys from Blondie. So it's like totally different genres. Like, could they even play? And then they're like, oh, they're itching to play with each other because
Yeah,
like they admire each other. Right? And even though you might be in a certain genre, you might admire some another genre. You get the opportunity to do a super group, and they
yeah,
just like they locked in real fast, like in the small rehearsals they did for the benefit. They didn't have a lot of time. They practiced for a couple hours, and boom, they're locking in, and they
I
never
think
played together at all.
I think it's kind of a mutual respect that people have for each other, to be able to do that.
Yeah, you gotta respect somebody to do that. You can't be like top down in it.
Yeah, 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 you can't go and going, I've been trained in this, that, and the other, so therefore I'm better than you." I think a lot of Irish traditional musicians get that sort of, we're very worried about, okay, we maybe only use the fiddle in, like, the first position. We don't kind of do very much moving around the fiddle, so when we go into different environments and there's other people playing, using the violin to its full capacity, we're like, "Oh god,"
Oh, you get nervous, then you get like thinking you
Ye
yeah.
yeah, you're kinda like, "Oh, they probably think
Should
I'm
I do
shit."
that, or should I actually know, like, I know where I am?
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, those kind of people who might be way more technically brilliant can't hear.
They
So,
can't hear what because they're locked in. The problem is, like,
yeah,
the technically brilliant people are kinda
yes,
locked into their technical brilliance,
yes, and
and they
can
are
only read it and can't deviate from the page.
yeah, I remember I was talking to a classical musician, and they were trying to get in with a modal jazz band, and they kept on asking, like, to the point that the jazz band, like, kicked them out because they kept on asking questions, like, "What key are you in, and what's the chart?" And I was like, "We don't do that."
Yeah,
And then
because there is no
they had to
chance.
leave because it's like it wasn't working because they couldn't, even though they're technically could read,
Yeah,
that was a situation where there was nothing to read other
yes.
than read the room.
Read the room and listen to each other to see where we're all moving together. It's like one of those, the giant balls that moves around and you're all kind of moving together. It's a giant ball of lots of different pieces and it moves kind of, but it moves slowly with each other. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes there's a little bit of chaos. There's like chaos
Yeah,
theory, and
totally.
it works though. I mean, there's certain forms of music. Like I always get into fusion. Fusion to some people feels like chaos
Yeah.
when they go off,
Uh,
and then they come back to the theme, and then they go off, and they come back, and the drumming seems like very like not doing the same beat. It's like soloing through the whole song, but or the horn player is like doing very discordant, weird, like weird scales and mixing all this in very interesting developments when they're structured. It's not always harmonious. Sometimes it's discordant. There's like there's not harmonization. They'll come to a harmony
yeah,
to get people to lock in, then they'll go out of it and they'll come back to it and they get out of it and come back to it. And it's kind of what it is.
that's the exciting bit.
Some people can't get into it because they're like,
Uh,
I'm looking for the hook.
yeah.
It's not a hook based song.
But I'm sure there I'm always trying to ask the question is, are there people who can do that, maybe not in music, but they can do it in other areas of their life, like in work, can they do that sort of get in flow and things? Because I'm sure we're all capable of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, cause I'm in like, my day job, I'm in software design.
Right.
And part of software design is kind of like art and science. There's a like kind of like a mad inventor thing
Mhm.
where people like an inventor mind goes and says, I'm just gonna experiment.
Yeah.
And I don't actually have a plan other than I'm gonna experiment with this and then see what happens. I have these happy accidents, then I go with it.
Yeah.
There's a part of science where you have experimentation, you kind of riff in it. You got all this like theory,
Yeah.
but then you go off kind of like jazz and
Yeah.
go off and do stuff and then you bring it together. And there's a little bit of art to it. And there's science, but there's a lot of art. And that's where people sometimes don't realize that it's not all just logic.
I'm just thinking it reminds me of, a good friend of mine, and he would say, he's not creative, he does he's not involved in the arts, he's no one not interested in lots of things, and then you put him in front of, um, a problem, and he turns into this creative like, you give him wood and like, "Oh, or there's a problem that needs fixing," like a practical problem, like
Like
a
a business problem or like a
well, it's
mechanic.
more like it's like, there's a hole somewhere that needs to be plugged or there's something, and he just turns into this genius with wood or any substance that is at hand,
Oh,
anything that he
yeah,
can find.
craftsmen are like
Cra
that. Like, the
Yeah,
old craftsmen can figure out all the workarounds for anything that's not
yeah,
working.
yes, absolutely, and
Very
he's
creative.
but this isn't his profession, this is just something that, "This isn't working, how do I fix this? Oh, I've got something," and you're like, "How did you see that?" That is amazing. So I'm always
Yes.
thinking that that's the side that maybe people think that they're not creative, that they could tap into that side and
Yeah,
and
there's a
move
lot
that
of
into
blue
other
collar
sides as
people
well.
that have that, and they don't really recognize it because 'cause they're like craftsmen or handymen. They
Yeah.
can solve the Mr. Fix It type of thing or,
Yeah.
Mrs. Fix It. It's like,
Yes.
you just come in and they can just, like, think on their feet and just
Mhm.
take their experience, and it's very much like jazz. It's
Yeah.
very much like the same thing, the flow state that the artist is doing,
Yes.
that they're doing,
Yeah.
and maybe they don't realize it because they don't think a lot of people don't think that art is outside of, like, music and painting, but there's an art to everything.
Yeah. I think that there's creativity to everything that we do.
Yeah, and we've kind of
Um,
made said, "Oh, art is Beethoven, art is Chopin, art is Miles, art is this," and then you get people don't it's Picasso, it's, Renoir, it's like that's what it is, and then you don't realize, like, every human being has that creative spark.
yeah. Yeah, and it feeds the soul because I see the joy that it brings this guy, like, he gets so excited, he's so fulfilled. You can tell that
Mhm.
he's really fulfilled. So I love when it happens, when I because he really does not think he's creative.
Well, 'cause the problem with the modern world is we went and create all this, and, between agricultural industrialization or mechanization and then the workplace, mechanization, basically putting people in cubes and tell
Mm,
them to sit there from 9 to 5 in front of a computer. Human
mhm.
beings don't work like that, right? You put somebody in a box and you think you're gonna get some amazing thing,
Yeah,
right? It's like human beings need to kinda be out, walking along the river, being able to walk in the grass, be able to think and go smell the air, and come up with ideas. They're not meant to just sit in one spot because the boss wants to make sure he can watch you doing it
Mhm.
to justify him paying you.
Yeah.
But that's not exactly how we work.
And is it what do they say? Necessity is the mother of all invention.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's when there's a genuine problem thrown up in front of us that we have to genuinely get over, that can make us be really creative.
Yeah, if you're out there in the real world and you have to solve the problem in real time,
Mm.
that's when the brain will start kicking in. But we put people and give them these like robotic tasks, or just
Yes.
typing in forms and doing this thing and to check this box off and do that. That's not how human beings work.
Yeah.
And we've been like, we need to get back to an understanding that in order to get the best out of people, you can't think that a person is a robot.
Yeah. Well, we'll soon have robots to do that, so we're then be allowed to be free to do what we want.
Yeah, that's the better like, if you once they have the bots and the robots, then they need all this AI, then
Yeah.
get out there and actually become, like, a creator.
Yeah.
Be a creative person, take that idea, and then use the robots to help you, 10 plus you. Because
Mhm.
now suddenly you have an idea, and with your robot and all your AI and your 3D printer, you can actually do it with just you, right?
Yes.
You could actually go and put something out into the world. You could create a product or a service, and
Mhm.
suddenly it's out there in the world and it's your idea and it didn't have to go through the board, didn't have to go through the executive like group and all these people had so oh it's not going to work, like no you did
Yeah. I did have a board. I also was a data analyst at one stage, one of the low paid jobs. I've been done that. I've also actually run a construction company as well.
oh, so you know how it is.
I've
Yeah,
had to do lots of things. Yeah, it's yeah. You do what you have to do.
well yeah, every artist we try to not be starving artists.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
we try to make sure I can pay for my keyboard or my piano.
Yeah, I find if I even though I am a professional musician, I do get paid for for what I play, but not all the time. And I find when I do get paid, I've got a pressure on me that sometimes can affect what, comes out, although I try to make it not affected.
Mhm.
Um, s I'm not being as free or as giddy, so I try to kinda just pretend I'm not getting paid and then, "Oh, look, I got paid as a bonus. That's great."
Well, I think it's just amazing, that I think etiquette in terms of letting people, um, like, understand, like, I guess it's like, situational awareness is kinda
Yes.
like the etiquette you've been talking about the whole hour,
Yeah.
is some folks are not very situationally aware, and I think that maybe, like, your session etiquette is, like, kinda, like, don't come in with all these preconceived notions, actually, like, experience where you are and
Mhm.
assess it without, like, throwing all your baggage on it.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, totally. Because otherwise they then say, "Oh, they were rude in that session, don't go to that one," or they were I felt so unwelcome and but what baggage did you bring to the session? Because the only thing we can do is change our own behaviors. Can't change anybody else's behavior. So if somebody's going to be like that to you, then you have to change your behavior to them and I suppose give them the love. Because there's no point in giving hatred, because that's only affecting you.
Yeah, I mean, everything's a learning experience, like, even if something like, what we talk about in IT is, like, failing upward, like, you
Yeah,
can't learn unless you break a couple eggs, you know? You
that's true.
you gotta like, in order to like, when you're a musician, when you first were playing, your parents probably didn't wanna hear you, right?
Totally.
There's a point where it's like, suddenly, "Oh, I do wanna hear them."
Yeah.
But some people give up because before they get to that point, because they can't get past, like, how discordant and how disharmonious, it doesn't sound good. But it's like it's the work. You have to
Yeah.
put the work in.
When I was learning the fiddle, and around I started probably around 9 to 12, kind of 9, from 9 I didn't have any full lessons, and then from 12 I did, but I was kinda lazy. knew I had a good ear, kind of picked that up early that I could pick things up, and then I got lazy. Until about 16, I was really, really interested. And so at that stage, then I got a kick up the bum from my music teacher, my fiddle teacher, that I needed. And so I started playing along with the records, or
Oh, they can do that. Yeah.
speakers up so that I could try and play along with it and trying to get my speed up. And my bedroom was above the kitchen, and my mother would hammer up the broom and say, "You'd think you'd do something good, like practice your piano." And I was like, "I don't want to practice piano because piano, it was all grades. I had to do. There's too much. You have to. Whereas the fiddle, I was just like, I can do what I like. This is amazing. Well, maybe not quite. There is slight boundaries around
Yeah.
Irish music, but not quite as wide boundaries as jazz. But it grabbed me, and I really wanted it. So at that stage, I could have given up, but I'm more of a kind of, if somebody tells me not to do something,
They gotta do
it's
it.
the one thing I'm gonna do.
Well, I think that we can kinda close out on that, but, well, let everybody know that we have your QR code up. That's
Okay.
actually gonna be
Oh, very
for,
cool.
this website here. So, like, sessionetiquette.com is the QR code we have up there, so if people take their phone and they scan that, they can go right to sessionetiquette.com. So if people go there, what would they find there?
They will find a little bit about session etiquette at the moment because I am updating the website to give more information. So, because at the minute it's just kind of like the podcast website. So, I'm
Okay.
trying to change that because the podcast isn't even a year old yet. So, I'm pretty new, and it has won awards and things, 7 awards since March, which is crazy. Um, yeah, so I'm doing it all by myself. Don't get paid, all those kind of things, trying to get things put together. So yeah, I'm trying to get the website, more information on the website so people can go to it and look at it and say, oh yeah, maybe that's the reason why this is happening, or maybe this is the reason. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So I hope people go there and they follow your podcast, because podcasting is like the new frontier. And I think it's great that we have all these voices in this space, and especially creative people who are actually have their vision and are talking about that, or not just talking stuff to like agitate people. I think you're like, what? It's like okay, you have a vision, you're doing something cool, something positive. It's not just like riling up everybody. It's like that. That's what I like. So I love to have this safe space where people can talk,
Yeah.
and I encourage everyone to take the QR code, take the URL that's below. That will be fully clickable. We've been live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Kick, and we'll push this out to a bunch of other platforms, like big ones
Okay.
like Apple,
Brilliant.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Newsly, a bunch of other Facebook, YouTube. All those will be out there. And I want to thank you for being on the Family Electric Coach podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.